Hi, this is Ryan Lisk, and in today's development video, I want to talk about competencies. We may call them personal skills, personal talents, regardless of what they are. They're being used today for onboarding, maybe you're reboarding, reskilling, development, whatever the case is. We're using competencies to get better at our job. Whatever it is we're doing, we need a certain set of skills and talents. And the thing about these are, in our personal talent report, this section is the most developable section that we have. And I want to walk you through how the scoring system works in the report, but then I want to give you some how-tos at the end of this. So how could you go develop this and go do something with your report? This report, you're going to have something that looks like mine, this competency section, and we divide the competencies into 4 different sections. We have well-developed, developed, moderately developed, and needs development. And it shows you these in what's called a development indicator. It's color-coded over here on the left-hand side. And the one that I want to focus on for this example we're going to use in this video, let's focus on self-management. So for this person, Henry's self-management has completed Henry's completed his assessment, and self-management came out as his number 6 overall competency, and you can see it right here. Now it gives you the ranking from 1 to 25. We have 25 competencies that we measure, and the competencies hierarchy goes from whatever you scored highest in down here to whatever you scored lowest in. And in Henry's case, that's negotiation. Let me make a quick note about negotiation. A lot of people flip right to whatever they scored last in. They think, oh my gosh, I'm terrible at that. I got to get better at that. Well, not necessarily. If you don't need it for your job, we're not going to focus on it right now. And I want to stay focused back here on self-management. Here's Henry, who has self-management. He scored a 90, which is pretty good, but does he need that for his job? So the first thing we want to do with this report is, what do we want to develop? You're not going to develop all 25. You're not necessarily going to just look at things you scored low in. Let's look at what's important for your job. So if you have a Lisk Associates job benchmark that you've completed, we've created a list for you. So in this particular instance, if you look right here, the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's see, self-management. Oh, there it is, number 3, self-management. I knew it was on here. Self-management's the number 3 skill needed for this particular job of partner. And so that's going to be very important to this position. So while he's already good at that, he'd like to get a little better at that. So in this instance, we're going to do a good to great kind of model with self-management. And so we know that self-management's needed for Henry's job because we have a job benchmark. You know what? If you don't have a job benchmark, no worries. There's a couple things you can do. First, hey, you could give Lisk Associates a call. I will make a benchmark for you. Now, there's going to be a little fee with that, but we're happy to do that. We'll make a job benchmark for your job. Or, you know what? Just look down the list. Get with your manager. Get with your accountability partner, somebody, teammate, someone that knows your job well, and go over the list together and pick the top 5, 6, or 7 competencies that are most needed for success in your current job. All right, so now we've decided what we're looking for, and we're going to stick with the self-management example here. So there's a couple ways we can do this after the fact. So while the report is really good on giving us, we can see that our score on self-management is 90. It tells us we're well developed. The national average is here at 74. Our score is the blue. We're way above the national average. That's all well and good. So the scoring's great, and it even gives us a simple definition of self-management. But it doesn't tell us if we want to continue to develop that skill. What do we do now? We got this report, but it doesn't tell us what to do. So I'm going to give you 3 options of what you can go do next. So the first option is what is called ttidevelopment.com. Now, if you go there, here's the beauty of that. It's free. You can go, you can tell it what you're looking for, and it will give you some information. Here we go. Here's self-management. If we're looking for the self-management personal development plan is what it's called. It gives us the same definition with some bullet points or some descriptors below the big definition. It asks us a couple questions about the impact, how will I feel, and then it says, here's the contract, and it gives us some blank development activities with a start date and an end date, and we sign it, and our accountability partner signs off on it as well. And that's okay, but still that doesn't tell us what activities or exercises could we do for specifically developing self-management, right? So this is good. It gives us something, but maybe it's not quite what we're going for, but hey, it's free and it's DIY. So which leads me to option number two. Option number two is you could go buy the Complete Leader book. And I have the Complete Leader book. It's actually co-authored by Ron Price and my dad, Randy Lisk. So you can go to Amazon, you can get this book. It's 300 pages. It's made up of the 25 competencies. So there's one chapter on each competency, and you can go just flip to the chapter on, let's say, self-management, and it will tell me what is self-management, why is it important, how can I learn to improve my self-management, and it sprinkles in some activities. Now I will tell you that the self-management page, for instance, in this book is 7 pages, and it does give me a couple ideas. However, I want to give you a third option, and the book retails for $49.95. You can see here on Amazon. Let's see, we can get it at $36.95. So that's the kind of price range that you're in to get the book, or what I say, the handy field guide. So that's nice to have if you need an off-the-shelf quick reference. Another thing I would consider is a little longer term and a little bit bigger investment. And we have partnered with the completeleader.org on their competency development and on their website. So the Complete Leader, you can see it's the same brand as the book, except they've done a much more expansive offering here. So on the main page of competencies, we have all 25 listed, and I'm going to click on self-management and just show you what it looks like. So self-management pops up, and over here on the resources tab, we have 46 resources that we can reference. And I will show you that on every competency, there is what's called the coaching guide for each one. So we have the self-management coaching guide, and you see it says members only, so you need to subscribe to this service. And if we get the coaching guide, it actually gives us some really good exercises, what to do. So these are really, how do you do it, the how-tos, the exercises, and activities. So I really like this as an approach. It's easy to understand. You don't need to have a degree in graph reading or be an expert in assessments to figure this out, right? This is all job related things that you can do on your own. So I would recommend getting this. And I think for the $199 1-year subscription, it's a great investment. I believe it meets the Lisk Associate requirement of a 5 times return on investment, because I believe by the time you go through 3 or 4 of these, you're getting well over $1,000 worth of skill development for your particular job. So I would recommend, if you want to sign up for the Complete Leader, just drop me an email, ryan@liskassociates.com, reach out to me, and I'm happy to get you set up. If your organization wants to roll this out organization-wide, team-wide, department-wide, we do offer special site license kind of discounts for volume licensing purchases. So with that, that's what I want to say about competencies. You need to go work on these. You can develop these. You can get better at these. And you will soon see, by development, you will become a more talented professional. Thanks so much. Have a great one.